We are living in a fake reality. I was feeling really weird recently. I just felt so disconnected from everyone and everything. I felt like I was living in some kind of alternate dimension where everything was just so fake. A dimension where that fakeness was praised and heralded as if it was absolute truth. Given stamp of approval after stamp of approval through double clicks and gassed up comments. And I honestly felt like I just didn't want to be a part of it anymore. The past year has shown me so much about the broken state of humanity. And I'm not even talking about war and famine and third world countries. I'm talking about us lot. Us privileged lot. In our comfortable homes, in our comfortable clothes, with the comfort of our phones and what seems to be the anchor of our entire existence at the touch of our fingers. Us lot, the millennials and beyond, we're broken. We don't know what is real anymore. We don't know who we are anymore. So we carry on playing these games and living out our lives on our digital phone screens, leading not just ourselves but our followers down these dark little rabbit holes that don't lead to wonderland. Rather, rabbit holes that lead to darkness and despair, disguised as tunnels leading towards the light. Rabbit holes in which we will get lost. Rabbit holes in which we are lost. And I feel like if I'm the one to say that out loud, then it will be me that's labelled as crazy. Isn't that insanity in itself? I've seen it all this past year. I've had someone ask me before even asking my name, "Oh, how many Instagram followers do you have?" Completely taking me aback. I've seen firsthand how the social media influencers who portray themselves as happy, positive people online, in person can be catty and bitter and jealous. I've seen just how fake people can be to your face and then be something totally else behind your back. I've watched how just a little bit of online exposure can make people completely lose touch with the truth, choosing to back up organisations that are covertly funded by governmental counter-extremism programmes, rather than standing by their own communities. And in turn, actually making those same communities believe that that is okay. I've been in a situation at BBC Radio where a young lad who was featuring alongside me, before even trying to get to know me, asked me what my Instagram username was so he could look me up on there, as if looking me up on there would help him decide whether he wanted to know me or not. This was somebody quite a bit younger than me who couldn't even muster up a decent conversation. And when it came to the end of the night, he didn't even say goodbye. But that's okay, right? Because he followed me on Instagram. I've seen how people can manipulate other people so easily and turn them against other people just as easily. I've stood by and watched while people who have so much potential for light to enter them have allowed themselves to be led astray by those who are even more lost and broken and confused than them, just so that they can be a part of something and just so that they're not alone. I've seen how people stage their lives for social media, literally stage their lives for social media. I've watched people order and pay for beautiful Instagrammable food only to share it to their stories and leave like 80% of it on their plate. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I definitely do feel a positive shift in the collective consciousness, and I feel that this year especially a lot of things are shifting. But simultaneously, I also feel like we're being reminded just how asleep the majority of society still really is. And then there's the parts of society that are masquerading as woke, when that being woke is still part of the slumber. Some days I feel like I'm really trying to battle through this noise while I try and remind people to return to the truth and silence that lives within them. And although I know that the messages reach the right people at the right time, it can be so exhausting. Maybe this video won't make sense to a lot of people, or maybe it will, but I just felt that now, in the time of releasing, was the best time to let these words come out. As I always say, the change has to start with us. We must be the change we wish to see in the world. So I will continue working on myself. I'll try not to allow the illusions of this fake reality affect me so very deeply. And I'll keep going forward. I pray the same for you and even more. May you always be reminded of what is real and not allow the illusions of this fake reality that we live in today to become your truth.